Dairy looks wholesome, right? Fresh milk, creamy yogurt, calcium for strong bones, straight from Happy Farms. But grab the wrong carton and you're getting hormone-pumped milk, sugar-bombed yogurt packed with chemicals, and fake cheese that's mostly plastic. For families building healthy bones or diabetics watching sugar, that's not wholesome dairy. It's processed junk disguised as health food. In today's video, we're counting down 8 dairy products you should avoid at all costs, even if they look farm fresh on the shelf. Stay tuned till the end, because we'll reveal the safe alternatives actually worth your money. 1. Coffee creamers. Remember when coffee was simple? Your grandfather brewed it black, maybe added a splash of real cream from the local dairy. Coffee shops served actual cream in little glass pitchers. If you wanted flavor, you added sugar or honey. Coffee meant coffee, cream meant cream. But something changed in the 1980s when food manufacturers discovered they could replace expensive dairy cream with cheap industrial oils and market the result as convenient coffee enhancement. Walk into any grocery store today and the coffee aisle tells the story. Dozens of flavored creamers promising hazelnut bliss, vanilla dreams, caramel perfection. The same companies that used to sell real dairy now peddle chemical cocktails disguised as cream. Open a bottle of Coffee Mate and pour it slowly. Notice how it flows. Too smooth, too uniform, nothing like the cream your grandparents used. That artificial consistency comes from hydrogenated oils, corn syrup, and industrial emulsifiers designed to mimic dairy texture while cutting costs by 80%. Here's what your grandfather's cream never contained: titanium dioxide, the same whitening agent found in house paint; dipotassium phosphate, a laboratory chemical; sodium caseinate, milk protein processed beyond recognition. The European Union banned some of these additives in food, but American coffee drinkers consume them daily. The transformation happened gradually. Real cream got expensive, so manufacturers offered convenient alternatives that lasted longer and tasted sweeter. Families switched without realizing they'd traded actual dairy for petroleum-based chemistry experiments. For people managing diabetes or heart disease, modern creamers represent everything wrong with processed food evolution. What used to be simple dairy became sugar bombs loaded with trans fats and artificial flavors that spike insulin while providing zero nutrition. The saddest part? Real half and half costs the same as fake creamer, but delivers actual nutrients instead of paint chemicals. Your morning coffee ritual deserves the same quality your grandfather expected. Real cream from real cows, not laboratory substitutes. Skip the chemical nostalgia and return to what coffee enhancement used to mean: actual cream that doesn't require ingredient lists longer than poetry. Your morning coffee ritual deserves better than a laboratory experiment. If you wouldn't drink titanium dioxide straight from the bottle, why let it sneak into your cup disguised as cream? 2. Flavored yogurts like Yoplait, original strawberry. When you're grocery shopping, it's easy to get drawn in by those colorful yogurt containers. Strawberry, blueberry, peach. They promise natural fruit flavors and probiotics for digestive health. The labels scream wholesome breakfast choice and good source of calcium. Looks like smart shopping for busy families, right? But that health positioning doesn't always mean healthy ingredients. Let's start with what nutritionists found when they analyzed popular yogurt brands. Yoplait. Original strawberry contains 26 grams of sugar per serving. That's more sugar than a candy bar served to kids as breakfast. Why does that matter? Because you're paying premium prices for what amounts to dessert disguised as nutrition. The fruit flavoring comes from artificial compounds designed to taste sweet and fruity without providing any actual fruit benefits. Then there's what's actually inside those containers. The strawberry pieces floating around? Most are sugar-soaked fruit bits or artificial gel pieces engineered to look like real strawberries. The pink color comes from synthetic dyes, not fresh berries. One investigation revealed the manufacturing process strips away natural dairy fat to create healthier, low-fat yogurt, then compensates by loading products with sugar, corn syrup, and artificial flavoring. You're getting all the sugar crash without any of the satiety that makes yogurt nutritionally valuable. Compare this to plain yogurt with fresh fruit. The same money buys weeks of actual nutrition instead of sugar-loaded dairy products that spike blood glucose and leave kids hungry within an hour. For parents trying to provide healthy breakfasts while managing grocery budgets, flavored yogurts represent pure markup for artificial flavoring rather than nutritional benefits. That extra cost pays for cartoon packaging and marketing campaigns, not better ingredients. So while those colorful containers look like wholesome family choices, the premium price buys you dessert-level sugar with breakfast-level marketing. Skip the artificial fruit theater and add real berries to plain yogurt that actually supports your family's health. What's the most you've ever paid for healthy yogurt? Was it worth it or pure marketing? 3. Low-fat or fat-free yogurt. Your doctor said to cut fat, so you switched to low-fat yogurt, thinking you were following medical advice. Heart-healthy symbols, diet-friendly packaging. Promises of guilt-free nutrition. You felt responsible, proactive about your health. But here's what your doctor didn't tell you about what food companies do when they remove fat from yogurt. They replace it with sugar. Massive amounts. A single container of Dannon Light and Fit can pack 25 grams of sugar, more than a candy bar. You're following doctor's orders while eating dessert disguised as health food. The medical community trusted food manufacturers to create genuinely healthier products when they recommended low-fat diets. Instead, companies exploited that trust by stripping beneficial dairy fat and compensating with corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and chemical thickeners. Open a container of fat-free yogurt and taste the artificial sweetness that hits immediately. Too sugary, too uniform, nothing like the tangy complexity of real cultured dairy. That's because natural yogurt cultures can't survive in sugar-loaded environments, so manufacturers add synthetic flavors to approximate what real fermentation tastes like. Here's the medical irony. Your body needs dietary fat to absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. Remove the fat from yogurt and you're eating nutritionally hollow dairy that can't deliver the benefits that made yogurt worth recommending in the first place. Meanwhile, that sugar load spikes insulin levels and triggers cravings for more sweet foods. You followed medical advice and accidentally sabotaged your metabolism while thinking you were improving it. The fat-free yogurt industry profits from medical recommendations while delivering products that contradict the health goals those recommendations were meant to support. Your doctor suggested less fat, not more sugar and artificial chemicals. For people genuinely trying to follow medical dietary advice, fat-free yogurt represents the food industry's exploitation of health-conscious consumers. You get sugar crashes disguised as medical compliance. Real full-fat Greek yogurt delivers the protein, probiotics, and satisfaction that make yogurt medically beneficial. Skip the medical marketing and choose dairy that actually supports the health goals your doctor intended. 4. Flavored milk. Those cheerful cartoon characters on chocolate milk cartons, the bright pink strawberry packaging, the promise of making nutritious milk fun for kids. Looks like a parent's dream solution, right? But school nutrition audits revealed that flavored milk programs were delivering more sugar per serving than the soda machines they'd replaced. An 8-ounce chocolate milk contains 24 grams of sugar. That's 6 teaspoons dumped into what parents assume is healthy nutrition. Internal emails from dairy companies showed executives knew they were hooking kids on sugar while parents thought they were providing calcium and protein. Court documents from childhood obesity lawsuits revealed these companies couldn't justify marketing sugar-loaded milk as nutritious to elementary schools. Pour chocolate milk next to regular milk and watch the difference. One flows clear and white like dairy should. The other pours thick and brown, artificially colored with caramel dye and thickened with carrageenan. Many brands don't even use real cocoa, just chemical compounds engineered to taste chocolatey while keeping costs low. The sugar content stays hidden behind natural flavoring that doesn't mention high fructose corn syrup. Do you buy flavored milk thinking it's healthier than juice? What made you choose chocolate milk over soda for your kids? For families trying to build healthy eating habits, flavored milk trains taste buds to crave sweetness while delivering sugar bombs disguised as nutrition. Schools serve these products thinking they're supporting health while actually hooking children on dessert chemistry. Have you ever checked how much sugar is in your kids' healthy chocolate milk? Compare it to their favorite candy bar. You might be shocked. Skip the cartoon marketing and add unsweetened cocoa to plain milk. Your children's blood sugar will thank you. If this is making you question what's in your fridge, hit subscribe. We expose food lies every week to help protect your family's health. 5. Processed cheese slices like Kraft Singles. That orange square shaped your childhood. Grilled cheese sandwiches after school, mom peeling the plastic wrapper, that perfect melt on every burger. Kraft Singles meant comfort food, family meals, American tradition. Every kid knew that satisfying peel of cellophane, the way it folded perfectly onto bread. But somewhere between your childhood memories and today's grocery store, something fundamental changed about those familiar orange squares. The FDA forced Kraft to stop calling their product cheese, not by choice, by legal requirement. Those nostalgic squares you remember can't legally use the word cheese because they don't contain enough actual cheese to qualify. Walk down any grocery aisle today and look closely at the packaging. Pasteurized prepared cheese product, regulatory language that means your childhood comfort food fails basic cheese standards. The same wrapper, the same orange color, but completely different contents inside. Here's what replaced the cheese in your memory. Milk protein concentrate, whey powder, emulsifiers, and yellow dye number 5 combined under industrial pressure. Each slice costs 30 cents, but contains more engineering than dairy. You're paying premium prices for processed milk waste that's been designed to never spoil, never mold, never behave like real food. Peel one apart and notice how it feels different than you remember. Rubbery, artificial, too perfect. Real cheese crumbles and ages and develops character. This stays identical because it's been manufactured for consistency, not nutrition. That childhood comfort came from real cheese your mom trusted. These modern squares deliver 250 milligrams of sodium per slice, nearly 15% of your daily limit, while stripping away the calcium and protein benefits that made cheese worth eating. For families trying to recreate those comforting childhood memories, Kraft singles represent the industrialization of nostalgia. You're serving your kids factory chemistry while remembering the real cheese that built your own food memories. The tragedy isn't just what's missing from these squares, it's what's been taken from childhood itself. Your kids deserve the same real cheese that shaped your memories, not laboratory substitutes disguised as tradition. Skip the factory nostalgia and choose real aged cheddar that actually melts like the cheese from your childhood memories. Do you still buy Kraft singles thinking they're cheese? Tell us what shocked you most about these fake dairy products. 6. Pre-shredded cheese. The word convenient is splashed across every bag of pre-shredded cheese. Quick weeknight dinners, easy pizza toppings, no mess or cleanup. Just grab, sprinkle, and melt. Looks like smart shopping for busy families, right? Wrong. That convenience comes with a hidden cost most families never consider. Check what's coating those cheese shreds. Cellulose powder, literally wood pulp, keeps the pieces from sticking together. You're sprinkling sawdust on your pasta because manufacturers need shelf-stable cheese that won't clump. Ever notice how pre-shredded cheese melts weird and rubbery? That's the wood pulp and potato starch blocking proper melting. Real cheese flows smoothly when heated. This separates and clumps because it's designed for convenience, not cooking. Do the math. A block of aged cheddar costs $4 and takes 30 seconds to shred. Pre-shredded costs $6 for the same amount, but delivers coating chemicals and dulled flavor. You're paying extra to eat tree byproducts. Grab a handful and feel the difference. Too uniform, artificially separated, coated with white powder. Real cheese sticks together naturally because oils and moisture create adhesion. This feels fake because it is. Smash that like button to help us reach more families who need this truth. The food industry doesn't want you to know. The coating dulls flavor, so you use more cheese to get satisfaction. More calories, more sodium, more wood pulp, all to save 30 seconds of shredding. Do you still buy Kraft singles thinking they're cheese? Tell us what shocked you most about these fake dairy products. Skip the convenience tax and shred fresh cheese that actually melts instead of turning into rubber. Smash that like button to help us reach more families who need this truth the food industry doesn't want you to know. 7. Whipped toppings. Like Cool Whip, that friendly blue container promises real dairy taste and creamy satisfaction. The nostalgic marketing shows families enjoying desserts together, just like Mom used to make Cool Whip has been America's go-to whipped topping for generations. But in 2017, a massive class action lawsuit exposed something shocking about this beloved dessert staple. Plaintiffs argued that Cool Whip contained no actual dairy cream, despite marketing itself as a whipped cream alternative. Court documents revealed the primary ingredients were water, vegetable oil, and corn syrup, not a single drop of real cream. The lawsuit demanded accountability for decades of consumer deception. Legal filings showed Cool Whip's creamy texture came from hydrogenated oils and chemical stabilizers, not dairy products. Families had been serving petroleum-based dessert toppings thinking they were getting real whipped cream. During discovery, internal company documents surfaced showing executives knew their product bore no resemblance to actual cream, but continued using dairy-adjacent marketing language. Email chains discussed cream positioning and dairy perception without ever using real dairy ingredients. The company fought the lawsuit hard, claiming their labeling was technically accurate because they never explicitly said cream. But legal experts argued the blue packaging, white color, and whipped terminology clearly implied dairy content that didn't exist. Open a container of Cool Whip and compare it to real whipped cream. Notice how it holds its shape indefinitely, never melts, never separates, like dairy would. That's because it's essentially flavored vegetable oil whipped with stabilizers and artificial vanilla. The settlement required clearer labeling but allowed the company to continue selling oil-based toppings as long as packaging didn't explicitly claim dairy content. Meanwhile, customers who'd bought Cool Whip thinking it contained cream received minimal compensation. For families serving holiday desserts, seniors hosting dinner parties, or anyone managing diabetes who thought they were choosing a lighter dairy option, Cool Whip represents decades of marketing deception disguised as wholesome tradition. That nostalgic blue container delivers industrial chemicals and corn syrup, not the dairy comfort food it promises. Real whipped cream takes 2 minutes to make and contains actual dairy nutrients without hidden sugars. Skip the lawsuit-worthy fake stuff and whip real cream that doesn't require legal disclaimers. 8. Frozen dairy desserts. Fake ice cream. Remember when ice cream was simple? Your grandmother made it with cream, milk, sugar, and vanilla. Summer evenings meant homemade batches churned by hand. With ingredients you could pronounce, ice cream parlors served scoops that melted properly and tasted like actual dairy. But in 2019, food historians documented a disturbing shift in American ice cream manufacturing that's been happening for decades. Major brands quietly stopped making real ice cream and switched to frozen dairy desserts, a regulatory category that allows manufacturers to replace dairy fat with cheap vegetable oils while still occupying the ice cream aisle. Walk down any grocery freezer section and read the labels carefully. Breyers, once America's premium ice cream brand, now sells frozen dairy dessert instead of ice cream. The same nostalgic packaging, the same family positioning, but completely different chemistry inside. Here's what changed. Traditional ice cream required expensive cream and milk fat. Food scientists discovered they could substitute soybean oil and palm oil for dairy fat, add industrial stabilizers like carrageenan and guar gum, then market the result as ice cream without technically calling it ice cream. Open a container of frozen dairy dessert and notice how it doesn't melt like ice cream from your childhood. It maintains shape at room temperature, doesn't drip properly, and leaves an oily film in your mouth. That's because you're eating sweetened vegetable oil foam, not frozen dairy. The transformation happened gradually so consumers wouldn't notice. Companies kept familiar packaging while reformulating products with cheaper ingredients. What used to be cream, milk, sugar, and vanilla became oil, corn syrup, artificial flavoring, and chemical stabilizers. For families trying to recreate childhood memories or seniors hoping to share traditional treats with grandchildren, frozen dairy desserts represent the industrialization of nostalgia. That familiar pint delivers laboratory chemistry instead of the simple dairy pleasure it promises. The saddest part? Real ice cream still exists, but it's been pushed to premium sections while fake ice cream occupies the mainstream market at mainstream prices. Your childhood ice cream memories deserve better than oil-based imitations. Look for brands that still list cream and milk as primary ingredients, not vegetable oil and chemical stabilizers. Now that we've exposed the worst dairy offenders, it's time for some good news. There are still a few real, genuinely nourishing dairy options that satisfy your cravings without destroying your health. Safe pick 1. Greek yogurt, unsweetened, full fat. This authentic Greek yogurt does something radical in an industry full of sugar bombs and chemical thickeners. It keeps dairy simple. Real Greek yogurt comes from a traditional straining process that removes whey naturally, concentrating protein without artificial additives. No stabilizers, no corn syrup, no laboratory shortcuts. Just fermented milk cultures strained the way it's been done for centuries. Open a container and you immediately taste the difference. Thick and creamy, without fake texture enhancers, tangy and satisfying like cultured dairy should be. Rich enough to keep you full for hours. Nothing artificial, nothing processed, nothing that sabotages real nutrition. Compare this to the dairy disasters we just exposed. Flavored yogurts with more sugar than candy bars. Low-fat versions pumped with artificial sweeteners to compensate for removed fat chemical cocktails masquerading as health food. Greek yogurt delivers the opposite. Real fermentation, complete nutrition, authentic flavor. The protein content alone destroys regular yogurt, nearly double the amount, which means stable blood sugar instead of glucose spikes. Your body gets sustained energy, not the crash and crave cycle that processed dairy products create. For people managing weight, the fat content actually helps. Real dairy fat triggers satiety hormones that artificial low-fat versions can't replicate. You eat less overall because your body recognizes real food and signals satisfaction properly. Choose grass-fed varieties when possible for omega-3 fatty acids and conjugated linoleic acid that fight inflammation naturally. Top with fresh berries, drizzle with raw honey, or use as a substitute for sour cream in recipes where real flavor matters. Greek yogurt proves that healthy dairy doesn't need chemical enhancement or marketing gimmicks, just milk, cultures, and time. The way food used to be made before laboratories took over. Skip the sugar-loaded imposters and choose dairy that actually nourishes instead of deceiving your taste buds and metabolism. Safe pick 2. Grass-fed butter. This real grass-fed butter does something that food scientists have been trying to replicate for decades with margarine and fake spreads. It delivers genuine nutrition your body actually recognizes. Authentic grass-fed butter comes from cows that graze on natural pastures, concentrating vitamins A, D, E, and K through their natural diet. No industrial feedlots, no GMO corn and soy, no shortcuts that compromise nutritional content. Just cows eating grass the way they evolved to do. Third-party testing confirms what you can see immediately. The deep golden color comes from beta-carotene that grain-fed cows can't produce, higher omega-3 levels, and conjugated linoleic acid that support fat metabolism naturally. You're getting nutrients that processed butter substitutes can never replicate. Are you still afraid of butter because of outdated health advice? What made you choose margarine over real dairy fat? Open a package and you immediately notice the difference. Rich, golden color instead of pale yellow. Creamy texture that spreads easily without artificial softeners. Pure, satisfying flavor that doesn't need chemical enhancement to taste like real dairy. Compare this to the fake spreads we could have included. Margarine loaded with hydrogenated oils. Heart-healthy spreads packed with industrial vegetable oils. Chemical butter substitutes that caused the health problems butter got blamed for. For people managing inflammation, the omega-3 content and CLA fight inflammatory processes naturally. For families seeking genuine nutrition, vitamin K2 directs calcium into bones instead of arteries where it causes problems. What's the most expensive healthy butter substitute you've bought? Was it worth it, or do you wish you'd just chosen real butter? Use it for cooking where flavor matters. Melt it over vegetables, spread on sourdough bread, or cooking eggs where real fat creates real satisfaction. Choose organic grass-fed varieties when possible to avoid pesticide residues from conventional dairy operations. Skip the margarine chemistry experiments and choose fat that actually supports your health instead of undermining it. And there you have it. From coffee creamers packed with wood pulp to sugar-bombed yogurts disguising themselves as health food, fake cheese that can't legally be called cheese, pre-shredded varieties coated with cellulose, whipped toppings made from petroleum products, and frozen desserts that replace cream with vegetable oil, we've exposed what's really hiding behind those wholesome dairy labels. The truth is, the dairy industry counts on you not reading ingredient lists, not understanding the difference between real and processed dairy, and not realizing that low-fat, natural, or convenient doesn't automatically mean healthier. They're betting on busy lifestyles and clever marketing to keep you buying laboratory creations while thinking you're nourishing your family. The good news? You now know what to avoid and what to trust. Whether it's choosing full-fat Greek yogurt over sugar-loaded flavored varieties, picking grass-fed butter over chemical spreads, or simply reading labels to spot cellulose and hydrogenated oils, small switches make massive differences in your long-term health. Your family deserves real dairy that actually nourishes, instead of chemical substitutes that slowly undermine your health while promising convenience. And that's exactly why we make these videos for you. So if today's dairy breakdown opened your eyes to what's really in your refrigerator, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another food industry investigation. We've got more exposés coming your way, from breakfast cereals to cooking oils, all designed to help you eat real food and protect your family's health. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, eat real, and keep rising above the marketing.